What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hopefully everyone is having an awesome Monday. I know I'm having a great Monday here in Virginia at home for a change. So I want to thank everybody for jumping in. My name is Brian Fanzo, better known as iSocialFans on the Twitters and my website and all that other stuff. And I just want to say welcome into this scope. Hopefully everyone's having a great week. It is Periscope Summit week. So I wanted to say, how's it going, Flores? How's it going, Katie? How are you guys? Thank you guys so much for jumping in. Thank you guys for sharing this broadcast. Remember, if you swipe left, share it to your Twitter followers. Because remember, if we only share it to our followers in the app, we'll never grow our community. John Corda, thank you so much for the very nice Snapchat message I got today from everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the room. So today I want to talk a little bit about something kind of beyond the normal conversation when it comes to really live streaming as a whole, but really social video. And hold on, before I do that, let me I didn't do one of my own tips, and I didn't put it on a do not disturb. I don't want anybody to come in here. Thank you guys for the hearts. Thank you guys so much. How's it going, Erica? Thank you guys so much for jumping in. How's it going from New Zealand? So, as most of you know, I help brands embrace change and tell their digital stories. And I am in Virginia. And for a lot of times, brands, when I tell them they want to tell their digital story, they tell me they already have a content marketing solution. They tell me that their team is already looking at social selling. They tell me that their marketing team is running social media. And really, for them, a lot of times when I say you need to embrace your digital story, you need to start telling your, not only highlighting what you're doing, but the story behind the story. So, oh, you're living in Las Vegas. Very nice. Yeah, I just left Las Vegas yesterday, and I am heading to San Francisco tomorrow. So I came back here to Virginia for a quick stop. So thank you, Zale, Gary, Ruth, Bungalow, for all sharing the Twitter. I have Twitter up. So for those of you that don't know, I believe in the power of sharing the Twitter because the our community, and I'm using TweetDeck, and I can actually see right here in this row, everybody who swipes to the left and shares at the Twitter, I can see those come up right there from me. I do appreciate you guys sharing this broadcast, the Twitter, sharing this with your friends. So how's it going for Miami? So for me, one of the things that I really believe in, it's something that I've worked in for a long time. If you don't know my background is I worked in cybersecurity after college for about 9 years, and I helped work, the Peach app. That's actually something I'm going to talk about on another broadcast. But I worked in cybersecurity for 9 years. And then during cybersecurity, I really realized the power of collaboration, the power of community. And what I was really focused on was, how do I help communities collaborate? How do I help cybersecurity initiatives collaborate? So we deployed things like Yammer, things like SharePoint, and we were deploying that at Department of Defense on a secured network. And then I left that, went and worked in the cloud computing space, worked with the data centers, really focusing on how they could tell their story, connect internal community to external community. And then I kind of fell in love with what we're calling digital marketing today and personal branding, and now I help brands tell their digital story. And one of the things that I love and believe in is live streaming really is much more about social than it is the video. And what I mean by that, if you guys saw the blog post I wrote earlier, when Periscope got named the very best app of 2015 by iTunes, one of the things that was really crazy is if you think about it this way, put this in your mind, it was the most loved app, and a majority of the users don't use its main functionality. Put that in your noodle for a second. Noodle on that. Thank you guys so much for sharing this broadcast. So noodle on this. The majority of the users are the watchers, the commenters, the sharers. ScopeScribe, one of my favorite commenters, one of my favorite supporters, ScopeScribe, has been with me since the very beginning. And I couldn't be using this technology to help brands if nobody showed up, if the commenters didn't exist, if these things weren't living today. So for me, this is something that is truly, Mr. Singh, I can't wait to see you at the Periscope Summit this week. So really one of the things that I love to focus on is this is social video. This is interactive, collaborative video. If I was doing a video blog on YouTube, which I still used to do, really that video, when I'm doing a YouTube video, it's my message, my content, and I'm kind of putting it in front of you. I'm actually the one delivering it. I'm shaping the content. It's all me, right? And we still need that. Yes, I can't wait to see everybody at Periscope Summit. But what I'm talking about is the reason that social video, Periscope, Meerkat, Mevi, Blab, even Snapchat for some sense, is it's about collaborative video. And in the sense here is I have a plan. I have a 5-step project. Every single time, if you do these 5 things in every one of your scopes, you'll never go wrong. It's you welcome people into the room, you tell people who you are, you provide value, which I'm trying to do right now, you engage and answer questions, you recap and get the hell off the scope. And that's the 5 things to make a really quality live stream. And the interesting thing is, without this number 4, without this engagement, you're not doing anything different. You're not embracing the power that is live streaming. Because, Donald Trump is a poor excuse for talking about how he used Periscope. Donald Trump claimed that he used Periscope to announce his candidacy. But guess what he did? He stood all the way back here, and he said, I'm announcing my candidacy. And then he went this way and announced his candidacy. Well, guess what? I can't see any of your comments. All I can see are your green hearts. And what I mean by that is, thank you guys so much for sharing, thank you guys for joining in, is what I mean is, I always tell people, you can't use Periscope if it's further than an arm's length distance away. And why is that? Because the person on video, the content you're creating and what you're actually sharing is just as important as what's going on right down here. Snapchat can get to know people on a personal level. You can. And Jonathan, thank you so much for engaging me on Snapchat as well. I'm in love with the way Snapchat can interact. But that's what it's all about. To me, the reason you're tuning in there's 79 people currently right now watching this broadcast. They're stopping their life. And I thank all 79 of you, now 82 of you, for doing that for me. The reason you're here is not just to consume content, not just to tap the screen because you have like an OCD problem and you love to give hearts, but ultimately why you're here is because you believe in the power of not only listening and learning, but having and you don't even have to add your own insight. You can comment, you can talk to other people, you can say, yes, that's right. Honestly, actually, just giving me hearts whenever what I'm saying is of valuable to me is actually, in my opinion, collaborative, because you're helping me shape my content. Because I see the hearts there, and I'm getting excited. I'm saying, okay, they're getting what I'm talking about. Thank you, iOgrapher, so much. And I'm exercising too, Brian. I love it. It's a life break. So here's the thing. For brands, and hey, Ebong, thank you so much for sharing it to Twitter. Thank you, Carla, for sharing it to Twitter. Much appreciated, guys. I truly do appreciate you guys sharing this broadcast with all your friends and followers. But here's the thing. When I'm talking to a brand, what they start thinking about when it comes to live streaming, and really video and collaboration as a whole, is they think of it as, how can I sell, and how can I push my message, or how can I market something? And I'm here to tell you right now, all 90 people that are in here, thank you guys for your hearts, thank you for sharing, is that it's actually much more than that. The power of storytelling for a brand can change every single department across the company. And here, let me explain that for you real quick. If you think about it this way, answer me this. What makes a brand great? Pretty simple, don't you think? Great people make a brand great. Forget that it's about telling your story and making fans. I agree, iOgrapher, couldn't agree more. Does the connection extend beyond viewing comments and hearts? It does. And that's the thing that I'm going to talk to you about right now. And that's a perfect segue. This is the thing that, in my opinion, is a game changer. When we're talking about video, and we're talking about collaborative video, it isn't about just in the moment, this what I'm doing right now and sharing this content. I got a comment today on Twitter from someone that went to my catch.me account and watched a Periscope that I did in June, 7 months ago, and their tweet to me said simply, Brian, watching your old meerkat changed my business. And I said, thank you, what about that changed your business? And they said, well, actually, I would love to be able to comment on there. I would love to be able to add insights. And I was, I'm floored. I truly love, I'm blessed to have an amazing community. Thank you guys always for supporting me. But think about this from a brand perspective. If a brand is great because they have great employees, and they hire great employees because they're great, shouldn't that brand empower those employees to not only tell that story externally, but what I believe is social video collaborating internally is a game changer. Now, hold on, you might be like, wait a second, Brian, this isn't mind-blowing. There's webinars, there's WebEx, there's all of this internal, we have Slack, we have Jive, we have Yammer, we have all these collaboration solutions. Thank you so much, Caleb, for joining. Thank you guys so much. Over 100, I appreciate you guys so much. This is awesome. right there, I love that, Shay. It says, Shay says, they say that the CX, which is the customer experience, actually starts internally. And every company says, I care about my customers. I want my customers to trust me. I'm an authentic person. My product doesn't suck. But you know what they don't trust? You know what they don't empower? The people they're already putting on paycheck. Oh, thank you so much. The people that are already wearing their brand as a badge. If you go on to Twitter and you search ex-IBMer, people are so proud of working at IBM, they still use it in their profile when they don't work there. Ex-Google, ex-Apple. Why do they do that? And what value does that have for your brand? Think about it. You know what company I want to work for? If I get to work for an enterprise company, I want to work for a company that people that are happy when they're there, they love and they're powered and trusted, and guess what? When the people leave, they're so proud of it, they come back and talk about it and they put it on their profiles. And that to me is something that is amazing. What's up, Ohio Social Mom? And Lindsay now. I forgot, Lindsay, you have a different Twitter handle on here on Periscope. Thank you so much for joining. I always enjoy your snaps, you know this. So what I really want to talk about here is social video, live streaming. Whenever you think about live streaming, this is my play, and this is what I do for brands. Brands want to hire me as an influencer. Brian, we want you to come out here and live stream. And what I believe I'm doing is I'm actually live streaming to prove a concept. It's a proof of concept. It's to get them to believe that live isn't scary, and just because you have to say I don't know sometimes doesn't mean people are no longer going to buy your product. And just because it's live doesn't mean you can't, block people and ignore comments and sometimes just say, sorry, I have to go because, the pizza man came. Because that's real. We all want real. But we also want to work with real, and we want to collaborate with real people. And so I ask you this, everybody that's in the comments, how many people have worked at a company? They love working for that company. It's a great company to work with, but they have no idea what other people in their company are actually doing, or if other people in their company actually love working there as well. I can tell you, I've surveyed brands, and I went to 10 employees, 10, count them 10. I've got 10 employees, right? And you know what their employees tell me? I say, here's the thing. Why do you love this brand? They tell me why they love the brand. What is your brand's story? Hey, what's up, Jim and Clyde? Thank you so much for jumping in. How's it going, Clyde? Thank you guys so much. I say, what is your story? What is your brand story? Never happened. Italians hate their job. Hey, Shay, what's up, my friend? My Android loving friend. Thank you guys so much. So this is what I'm talking about here. This is it. Yeah, I'm energy today. I haven't done a Periscope like in 3 days. I'm fired up. So here's the thing. What if you work at a great company and you're telling your great story? Don't you believe if you were able to collaborate with other people with similar interests and similar passion could make a difference? Beyond a difference. And I believe, and I believe this across the board, when we start looking at live streaming and we start looking at collaboration, I deployed Yammer for the Department of Defense in 2005. It's a collaboration tool for the enterprise. It's like Slack on steroids. It's like SharePoint meets Google Docs meets all that stuff. And you know what the problem was? People believed that if they held on to information, if they didn't share it with anybody, that even though if they got hit by a bus, the company would fail, that they would be successful if they held on to that information. And what do? That creates a silo. That creates a disruption, and it hurts the business. It hurts that employee, and it hurts the employees around them. But here's the change in mindset that is happening now today. We are starting to believe in the power of information, the power of people, the ability that is we are greater than me, the ability to work together. We are not going to cure cancer sitting in one company's basement in San Francisco. That's not going to cure cancer. But what can cure cancer is if us joining forces, collaborating, aligning, and ultimately understanding what other people are doing and building it together. And so I truly, truly believe this. And that's the sad part right there. I was discouraged from promoting cross-training at my last job. They don't realize that it mentally makes them expendable. That is so true. So here's the thing. The reason I believe most collaboration struggles is because it's forced collaboration in a content and in an information way that we're not okay with. Let me give you an example. If your company comes down and says, I want you to write a blog for our website. Well, you're not a writer, you're a product manager. I don't want to write a blog. Well, you get up there and talk about your lunch and learns every single day. Well, at my company, I had a videographer that worked for me. His name was Mike Chesworth. And thank you guys so much for sharing. Thank you for your hearts. And what Mike Chesworth and I would do is we would go and say, hey, how do you love to talk about this information? If you love to talk about it on a podcast form, you love to talk about it on a conference call, you like to do freestyle lunch and learns, you like to talk about it on video, you like to blog, maybe you just like to, write it out notes on your iPhone. Maybe you like to dictate it through Evernote. Because here's the thing. If you want to drive collaboration, if you want people to believe that sharing what they know with other people that are sharing what they know, you want them to do that, there's one thing that is critical. One thing. One thing is critical. Do you guys know what that one thing is? Trust. Let me say it again. Trust. Trust not only in the people, trust in the brand, the information, and ultimately that they're going to be heard and they can make a difference. People do not want to share. People do not want to take that risk. People do not want to collaborate if they feel that they're going to be hung out to dry, if the company is not going to reward that. Trust is the key to brand building. I couldn't agree more, Iographer. So ultimately, when I look at social video and I look at live streaming and I look at what we're doing here on Periscope and Blab and all these projects that I'm working on, I truly believe, that when a business can integrate video internally as well as externally, they will build trust not only between their employees and their customers and their communities, but trust between employees. Trust between employees. There you go. I know, Lindsay. And here's the thing. If companies don't start trusting their employees, guess what's going to happen? Their employees are going to leave. Because we are living in a day and age that we no longer are siloed by where we live on what culture and company is like. Culture is not a ping pong table. Culture is the people that make up that business. And when it comes down to things like video, video allows us to scale trust and authenticity like never before. So when I look at live streaming and I look at video, I see the marketing aspect. I see the sales aspect. I've never made a training course. I've never made a product off of making a product of selling Periscope. Because you know what? Periscope doesn't pay me any money. But what I believe in and what I understand and when we're coming to this is that in order for collaboration to be successful, we have to trust one another. And I believe video can enable, scale, and amplify that trust like nothing before. Think of it this way. If you were actually sharing, and there it is, bam, Lindsay with a drop, no recognition for what I built, not an eye batted. Here's the thing. If you don't celebrate those that are taking the risk, that are doing what the brand, what the leader wants them to do, why the hell would anybody else do it? So not only is that trust important, but I always hear brands tell me, I'm listening. I'm always listening to my employees. I'm always listening to everybody. Do you let people know that they're actually heard? Because guess what? There is a big difference between listening and then listening and letting them know. Because when you let somebody know, and even if their idea isn't something that can change the world, and thank you, Jim. Jim just tweeted out a quote to my Twitter account. I can see my Twitters right here. He said, video allows trust to scale, and that is the key. And I believe when we start celebrating our wins, celebrating our employees, and leveraging video to build authentic conversation, trust, and storytelling, all because it costs nothing. It's the power of the people telling the story. And here's the mind-blowing piece. Your employees are already storytellers. I believe not every employee needs to be a social employee, but every employee plays a role in that brand's storytelling. You might be the reason the story enables. You might be the overnight shift because you keep the customers happy, because without the customers, you're not doing research and development. And that is the difference. And the problem has always been what Lindsay just put there. The C-suite is too often not listening and too disconnected from the common employee. But times are changing. Guess what? Guess what? And CEOs are starting to be on live stream. We have brands and leadership starting to understand the power of video. And if a CEO that loves and believes in their product and in their company and their employees was able to turn on video and leverage video to watch what their employees, because guess what? Guess what? I played poker for 2 years professionally. And what I was doing as a professional poker player is I'm not a math guy. I'm definitely not a math guy. I'm not a card counter. But what I am was someone that could read people and understand people's visual cues, people's inflect in their language, how they have their feet, where they're standing. Like I'm standing with my feet, the way my feet are separated right now and where my hands are, it's showing you that I'm engaged, I'm excited. And if you were able to take that information and relay that and build a story around that and allow management, allow HR, allow your direct manager, allow leadership to truly, truly understand the company, the employees, and then celebrate those that are doing great things and then help and reach out those that have lower morale. Because nobody wants an employee that has 1 foot out the door to stay there for 6 months. You either want to help that employee or get them the hell out. So guys, my piece here and my rant on this is pretty simple. I believe the key to collaboration in the near future, is video. I'm the CEO of a live streaming Snapchat, Twitter, is about, yes, Iographer does their customer service. This brand right here that's in here, their 4-person company does their customer service using Snapchat. And the reason I know that is I'm a customer, and the CEO has snapped me via Snapchat, asked me about products, asked me how I was enjoying things. Video made me an advocate of Iographer. The reason I became an advocate was not because I just love their product and not because I could relate with them, because I could look them in their digital eyeballs and I could build a relationship. And right there, personalized customer service built on authenticity and trust. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. My message to you is pretty simple. If a brand wants to embrace live streaming, they must think like a fan. And what think like a fan means is what would my fans love to do? Oh, that's awesome. I'm a Muslim U.S. Marine, and video streaming has been awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. U.S. Marine, thank you for your service. A shout out to every man and woman and child that is either a family or is currently out there serving our country or has served in our country. Or if you were a civil servant, if you were a police officer, firefighter, any of those, thank you for your service. Because without you guys, we couldn't do what we're doing right now. And that's me talking to a video, trying to inspire us to collaborate and change the world. And we wouldn't have that luxury, and we wouldn't be doing that right there if it wasn't from them. And I can tell you what, we need to collaborate there, Mr. Marine, because guess what? Everyone asked me, I've been to 39 countries total. I've been to the Middle East over 25 times. They asked me what my favorite countries are. I always say Bahrain. And they asked me some of my favorite memories. It was my deployments, the 3 times to Iraq and 2 to Afghanistan, and my opportunity to work alongside some of the most amazing human beings, both in our military and those that we were helping. And you were just there for 3 weeks ago. Let's collaborate. Message me on Twitter. And right there's an example. We're going to collaborate together right now because I want to help share his message, because I believe together I can amplify it using my community. And you know how that happened? He was able to get on this video, look me in the eyes, make his comment. I was able to see that, and we were able to collaborate. And if that that wasn't planned, if that's not an example of what this whole Periscope was about, then I don't know what is. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing my broadcast. Thank you for helping grow the community. And I ask you this: when you guys are talking about social video and live streaming and collaboration, do not underestimate the power of video. Cheers, my friends. Thank you guys for checking out my scope. As always, isocialfans.com, isocialfans.com. And if you want to get all of my gear and everything that I do, ThinkLikeAFan.video is the website. ThinkLikeAFan.video. Go on there, check it out. You guys can download all my stuff. Cheers, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the nice comments, Nick. Thank you to all you for that shared at the Twitter. Make it a great day. And remember, together, if we each do our own little part, ultimately, as a whole, we can change the world. Cheers.